Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Margaret Fontana Media Podcast show. And on today's episode, I have another amazing guest. And she happens to be someone who I went to college with and someone who was also my sorority sister. And we follow each other online, and she is one of the most amazing, inspiring people for interior design. And this is my friend and college, how would you say it? My college sister. And so this is Tina Delia. She is the lead designer of Delia Designs, and that is your last name. And so interestingly enough, Tina went to school. Obviously, we went to school. What did you graduate in? Psychology and something else. And then you went on to become a lawyer. And now you are this inspiring, amazing lead designer, interior designer. So Tina, welcome. And thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me today.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so much for having me. And I could not be happier to be sitting here with you today. And I think this is the epitome of sisterhood. So,
wow. I mean, everyone who's watching this is like, wow, these are sorority girls. We definitely had a lot of fun back in the day. But what I was so inspired to connect with you about was I saw this like evolution that you have going on of all of the different amazing design things that you're doing. And you've become this amazing interior design entrepreneur. So why don't you tell me a little bit about you and what you've been doing and how you became an interior designer and, where you are right now?
Yeah, so I have been practicing interior design, my own business now, almost 12 years. But I came to the field in a little bit of a roundabout way. I was a psych major for undergrad, went on to law school, graduated law school, practiced law for 5 years, and found myself wondering if I was in the right place and also feeling like I was missing a little bit of the creative part of who I am. So I found myself intrigued by interior design, and I found a program for career changers, a master's degree in interior architecture and design. And so I went to Drexel for that, and the rest is history at this point because I graduated in 2008. I moved to Rome for a year for a job that I had. And when I came back, yeah, the economy had crashed. There were no jobs. So
sounds familiar. Sounds like right now.
Oh, and right now, yes, there's going to be a lot of graduates dealing with the same thing. So yeah.
Wow. And so what inspired you at that point to kind of create your own business and become an entrepreneur?
I always knew I wanted to have my own business. I just, at the time, I thought I didn't know what it would be, but I remember, this is so crazy. I remember being in an interview with a law firm, and they asked you those questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? And I remember saying to this guy that in 10 years, I see myself as a business owner, which I think was not a good thing at the time because he's probably like, well, you should say that you're going to be here in 10 years as like a partner or something. But
you had your own aspirations, which I think is very inspiring. And I think that's why I wanted to reach out and talk to you, because I think as a woman, it's so important to know that you don't have to fit into these plans, so-called plans. Cause it's like you go to college, or some people go to college, or some people go and do something that maybe their parents think they should go do. And I love what you said before. Like you said, that there's a missing creative thing that you knew you wanted to do. So I think it's so important. And that was probably the best answer you gave them, because look, you are your own entrepreneur now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think sometimes the things that are deep inside of who we really are, when they come out, they speak volumes to the person that we are. And I think just saying things out loud also kind of helps it to come true in some way.
Yeah, that's the power of intention. It's like anything you say kind of comes to fruition if you believe it. And, if you're that person who does like mantras and things like that, sometimes I do that for myself just to kind of like keep myself like focused. But so I wanted to go into the next question, which is really about, we're all living this pandemic. We're living in a time that like no one's ever experienced. And what has happened, as far as work goes, a lot of people have been sent home. Everybody's home. Everybody's kind of inside. No one's doing all the fun and exciting things that we used to do. So there's so much focus on being home. And what caught my eye with some of the things you posted on social media were a lot of the different designs for home office. And so, like, what kind of trends are you seeing in 2021 now that we're like living, being home is so important and like your surroundings are so important. So tell me a little bit about the trends and like how somebody can kind of get themselves feeling good about what's around them and how they create it through design.
Yeah, that's actually the epitome of it right now. Since we are at home, home is having this huge moment. I think that before the quarantine happened, before the pandemic, people tolerated things in their home because maybe they weren't there as much. And then once they're there 24/7, it started to get on their nerves about, oh, well, we should really fix that. We should really fix this. With the home office, working from home has definitely, skyrocketed. So I definitely am seeing a trend with clients wanting a dedicated work from home space,
Right.
where before they didn't have it before. So as far as what that looks like, though, it's different for everyone, but some people are taking an extra room in their home and making it their home office, or maybe they're putting it in the basement.
Right.
But in general, I would say organization is whether that's top of your desk, like getting that clutter cleared up is having a huge moment. But also I want to say, bringing nature inside the home now, whereas before it wasn't as big. But I'm seeing a lot of my clients asking if we do plantscapes, if we can help them, design with plants in mind, or just give them some design tips on how to add them to their space. So, but nature, not only in bringing plants in, it could be biophilic design, like what I have on the back wall here.
I love that.
That's, nature inspired. I also think I'm seeing a trend away from the cooler gray tones and into the warmer, earthy brown tones. I think it's sort of helping to comfort people a little bit more than the cooler tones.
Yeah.
And this whole moment of this new term called grayish, which is gray beige.
I just learned something. I had never heard that before. Grayish. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I also think, so wallpaper, people are becoming, not just with wallpaper, but I think people are becoming a little bit more daring when it comes to their spaces at home, where before we would see it definitely on the commercial side. Like a lot of my commercial clients say, we want Instagrammable moments. We want people to be able to take their photo here, post it online, tag us. And now I think people are doing that, not saying they want Instagrammable moments, but they definitely want something more special than what you normally would see. So
yeah, I love that. I actually, I would love that if like, you can design with like, how you're going to do photos in mind, like everything becomes like an Instagrammable picture. I mean, aesthetics and, that's so important. And it's always like, here I am, I'm taking a picture. I mean, I have so many pictures of me just sitting at the desk, like doing my selfie. And it's always like, okay, what's behind me? See, like I have my plant back here. I have my stand there. I have my hobo chic vision board thing that I post, and just like my little lights. But totally, it's the same idea. Like I'm always like thinking, well, what's this going to look like if I post it to Instagram? But I love that idea of like, families and people kind of like thinking and designing from the standpoint of like, oh, is this going to be aesthetically pretty for my photos if we take photos in here? I mean, it's actually fascinating how we've evolved with thinking and kind of incorporating media and social media on top of it. It's
I
fascinating.
know. Isn't it funny? Yeah. I mean, it all sort of blends in together.
Yeah. So which leads me to my next question, because, I
Yes.
noticed that a lot of, like professionals who work inside of interior design, or who are architects, or who work in construction, or people who are putting like all the pieces together for home living, or for, even business office, are really like wild about Pinterest and Instagram, because those are like your top two visual vision boards, let's say, or like your mood boards. So what are your thoughts on using them to kind of inspire and really as a tool?
Yeah, so I'm a huge Pinterest fan and promoter of the product. I use it every single day, just not only to get inspiration for the projects that I have currently, but also I keep folders, tons and tons of folders for different clients, and I keep inspirational images or perhaps design features that they might want in their space.
Mhm.
And yeah, I get a lot of, that's probably the highest amount of viewers that I get is really Pinterest.
Right. So I noticed also on your website, and then you launched something new very recently, and it's like part of your branding. What is it? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so I just launched a product line, and it's called Bloom by Tina Delia,
Wow.
and yeah, so it's actually been a passion project for me for I want to say at least 6 years.
Okay.
And every year I have my things that I write down of what I would like to accomplish, and it's been on there for
Wow.
years and years. And I've done research over the years about different parts of it, how to launch a product, getting a patent, doing this, doing that. And really the slowdown with the pandemic kind of gave me a little bit more time to
Yeah.
really dive into the specifics. And so I launched Bloom by Tina Delia, and it's really about, the philosophy is about empowering mostly young women to sort of take control over their personal space, their resting space, and really surround themselves with what makes them feel good and what makes them feel happy.
That is amazing. That is so cool. So where can someone find this new product launch? It's part of your website, or is it something separate?
So right now I have it as part of Delia Designs as an extension, because I have an e-commerce platform already built into Delia Designs. So I have it there for now, and people can head over to the site, and I have a shop button where they can see
Wow.
the first collection for now.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I just saw you put this up like recently, and I'm like, I have to ask her about it. So that's so inspiring, so amazing. So happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Tina, I mean, I can't thank you enough for chatting with me today and really giving me like the lowdown on interior design and like the inspiration and your tips on kind of, bringing those things in to get your environment and to get things kind of feeling a little bit more comforting, because I think we all need comfort nowadays. And until we get out of this vicious, strange cycle we're in. But a lot of everything you said is so inspiring and very cool. And I'm so happy to see you and happy to connect with you. And
Yeah.
give me your website one last time, and where we can find you and how someone can find you to do business with you or to kind of get some inspiration from you.
Okay, yeah. So for all things Delia Designs, you can definitely start with, searching for my website, which is www.delia, there's a hyphen, designs.com. And from there, you'll be able to link to all of my social media platforms, see the shop, and connect with me otherwise.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you took the time to do this today. Thank you so much. And I'm going to add all of your links and all the ways that people can connect with you. I'll put it in our description as we post your interview across all the platforms. And thank you so much. And I mentioned to other guests that have been on the podcast, I'm going to be doing a lot more live Q&A on Instagram Live and Facebook Live. So I also would like to invite you to be a pop-in guest so you can do Q&A with people, because I know I'm obsessed with interior design for office lately. Like I'm in TJ Maxx like every 2 seconds. So I know that everyone is thinking the same thing, because it's exciting. It's fun to actually change those things up. So I really appreciate your time, and we'll talk soon. Stay connected.
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
Tina, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.